GC 90.7's Studio A on the campus of Gulf Coast State College. RAPLINE with Emily Blaze.
The new Millaway Institute for Entrepreneurship was created to help local innovators transform their ideas into commercial products, services, and companies. And today on RAPLINE, we'll learn more about the Institute, which is located right here on the main campus of Gulf Coast State College, and tell you about an upcoming open house where you can actually go inside and tour the facility as well. I'm Emily Blaze. Today on RAPLINE, joining me is Steve Millaway, CEO of Tech Farms. Also, Dr. Steve Dunnivant, Associate Dean, Program Development, Executive Director of the Millaway Institute for Entrepreneurship, and Kurt Morris, Engineering Technician. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you.
And first off, what is the Millaway Institute and what can it do for our listeners and our viewers today? Steve.
It's a dedicated space that's designed to really revitalize, if you will, entrepreneurial ecosystems. So when you think of a community and you think of economic development and how jobs are started, how jobs are created, quite a few of those jobs are created by entrepreneurs, like Mr. Millaway. So what we wanted to create was a series of resources for entrepreneurs in our area that would help them go from an idea to an actual business. So you'll find everything from our Fab Lab, which Kurt will talk about in a little bit, that supports prototyping of products and fabrication, to workshops that other area entrepreneurs come in. We collaborate a lot with the Business Innovation Center, certainly with the chambers and different groups around town. There's quite a strong group of entrepreneurs in our area. They can live anywhere in the world they want to. So they choose Panama City Beach, Florida. Why not? Come to beautiful Florida and run your business from there. And the whole idea was to begin to further leverage our Advanced Technology Center by dedicating a space and resources for entrepreneurs.
And as we use that word so much, what is the actual definition of an entrepreneur?
Oh, wow. That's a $1 million question. That varies so much. Typically, people will say someone who invents something and someone who's an entrepreneur, they're a little bit different. Inventors tend to focus on the constant changes in the cycle of a product. An entrepreneur is often that, as well as the person who knows how to find the money and the support to take that idea, kind of think of it beyond the napkin. So you come up with an idea, in the shower or something one day, and you go, wow, how do I take that idea to a product to get the funding, pass the prototype onto the market? An entrepreneur is a person who, some of them do all those things, and some of them are very focused on just creating the training and the resources to navigate all the things that you have to do to start a successful business.
So if I have an idea for a product, but that's as far as I've got, and I need help on the business side, there's people there that can kind of direct me in the right direction, business-wise?
Yeah, absolutely. What we will do is we'll help connect that entrepreneur. Come to us, talk to us, and we'll help you figure out where you need to go. Because if you're coming up with a technology product, you're going to want to talk to Steve Millaway and to Tech Farm. If it's a general business idea, the Small Business Development Center, people are in town, as well as maybe you need some space, then you need a physical incubator, then it's time to talk to someone down at the Business Innovation Center. So we're even getting a SCORE chapter here in town, and those are retired executives that have all started businesses. Sometimes you need advice and mentoring, sometimes you need gap capital, and other times you need assistance with creating a prototype.
So now tell me what SCORE is.
SCORE is a nationwide system of retired engineers and retired executives that donate their time to mentor people through all those hurdles that you have to jump through when you're starting a business. So we'll have some SCORE people in town, and again, the SBDC folks in town, and our workshops that we offer through corporate college, and even our credit programs. A serial entrepreneur is someone who wants to continue, very few idea people have one idea. They're going to reiterate. So we offer, actually through Dr. Hernandez, who's a wonderful, he ran an incubator in Puerto Rico, and we offer classes that are both credit and non-credit for entrepreneurs that want to become what we call a serial entrepreneur, all the way to a baccalaureate degree. So we have an associate's degree, we have certificates, and we have a baccalaureate degree that emphasizes it, focuses on entrepreneurial skills.
And so people that are listening and watching right now, can they go to the Gulf Coast College website and get some more information on this?
Yeah, absolutely. Go, just click gulfcoast.edu and click Quick Links. There's a Quick Links, the drop down, and click Millaway Institute. You can contact me. I'm happy to be the point of contact and help direct them to wherever they need to go.
And you are listening and watching GC 90.7 and RAPLINE, and we're talking about the new Millaway Institute for Entrepreneurship. They have a big open house coming up on May 28th that you are invited to. Want to turn now to Steve Millaway. Tell me a little bit about your background, CEO of Tech Farms, and why it was so important. What inspired you to get this Millaway Institute off the ground?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. I think we've had discussion before in the past. I grew up here in Panama City, back in the late 70s, and went to college at Gainesville, University of Florida, and never really wanted to leave Panama City. Unfortunately, at the time, I didn't find very many private sector tech jobs available. There's the Navy base, Tyndall, the DoD contractors that surround that. But if you wanted to get into the sort of faster pace private sector tech business, you basically had to leave town. So unfortunately, that's what I did. I went out to Arizona, but my parents were still here in Panama City, so I'd come back, once or twice a year, and every trip back, I would look around town. And bottom line is, over 30 years, it really hasn't changed at all. And so I'm really optimistic about what's happening with the college and the Advanced Technology Center. I think it's the, one of the 5 best things to happen to Bay County in the last 30 years. So with the Institute, basically I was, asked to help sponsor that, and I thought it was a great use of, time and some dollars to help get it going. And Dr. Dunnivant captured it very well when he said that we're finally developing an ecosystem of tech entrepreneurs in this town. And so much of the work that's been done in the past 10 years is targeted towards bringing outside existing companies into town, which, as Dr. Dunnivant has pointed out on many presentations, is a very difficult job, because there's more than 10,000 communities out there applying for these relocating businesses, maybe only 900 a year. And so Panama City has a fairly low probability of attracting those companies. And we've seen that to be the case over the last 10 years. So when you look at the statistics, around the country, most businesses are started by entrepreneurs. So we should really be focusing a lot more of our effort towards entrepreneurs. And with the ATC and the Institute and the Fab Lab, which the gentleman here will be discussing, it gives entrepreneurs a real starting point and a collaboration space, which is extremely important. We have all these people sort of in silos all over, the community and other places other than just Panama City in Bay County, and they've never really known where to go to find, people of like mind, and so we're sort of solving that problem. The one problem that we didn't solve with the ATC is actual incubation space within the building, and during the development phases of the building, it was thought that would be too big of a first step. Maybe something the college might do later, but setting up an incubator is a difficult task. There's a lot of issues involved in intellectual property and business type related things, which may not be best suited for the college at this time. So to address that, I decided to open up a separate incubator here in Panama City. It's called Tech Farms, and it's located across the street from the Navy base. We picked that location primarily because the proximity to the engineering talent there at the Navy base and to Gulf Coast and FSU as well. And it's an easy jump for students back and forth. And what we do there is we offer low-cost office space, collaboration space. We're setting up a prototyping lab. Our intent is not to duplicate what the college has done, because the college is at the very high end in terms of 3D printers, CNC machines, and such. So we're more up the lower end equipment as a starting point, and when they incubate their ideas and get them to the next level, then they start to need more expensive equipment to generate prototypes that might, launch initial production units. That's where the college will come in. So we're looking forward to collaborating with Gulf Coast. We've got 3 students this summer actually interning at Tech Farms, and they're going to start a business from scratch. And we're going to take them through the whole, way that you do that. Filing for your entity name. In this case, would be an LLC, setting up operating agreements, getting the team in place, securing funding, launching the business and everything that goes with that. And it's sort of a 3 months crash course. So we're looking for other ways to connect with the college, and in general, what we're all about is job growth in Bay County. So jobs are really driving everything that we're doing.
And so it sounds like, if I understood you correctly, that you kind of were frustrated when you started not being able to find what you were looking for here initially, had to move away. But if you can create something yourself, then you can kind of be where you want to be.
Correct. And it's not just myself. We had, in our graduating class at Bay High, we had, I think, the largest one on record, over 620 students. And when I go to the reunions, about 80% of those people left town. And when some of them come back in town, we talk to them, they all left because lack of jobs. We're really focused on tourism here, and that's great. It brings in a lot of dollars and really helps the community, but we're missing an entire segment in the tech business, which is, arguably the best place to find high-paying jobs in the country now. So it's not only myself, but lots of others that are graduating from the college that are leaving the community, and it's a real shame because they're leaving family and friends, and in most cases they want to stay. So hopefully this will be a way to keep them here.
And you are listening and watching RAPLINE here on GC 90.7 and GCTV, and we're talking about the new Millaway Institute for Entrepreneurship here at Gulf Coast State College. Of course, the big open house coming up May 28th. One of the neat things at the Institute is the Fab Lab, and Kurt Morris, that's kind of your area of expertise, and you have printed out a lot of, well, tell me about what is in the Fab Lab, and then we'll kind of discuss what's on the table here.
Well, the Fab Lab, it's basically a space where anything can be made. Okay, so we've got 3D printers, we've got CNC machines, we've got band saws, sanders, anything you can think of to fabricate a part. So really the big thing that we have are our 3D printers. We're really proud of them. And we have a high-end 3D printer that can basically make anything. It can make assemblies that have plastic and rubber mixed together. So when it comes out of the printer, you wash it off and it's ready to be used. We've also got other machines like laser cutters, 3D scanners, all types of equipment. So anything you can think of that you can actually design, if you can design it on the computer, make your 3D model, we can have that part in your hand within a couple days, hours. You never know, it just depends on the complexity. But basically, that's the Fab Lab. It's the space where entrepreneurs can come, they can meet there, collab there, and make their thoughts come a reality. And if they have something that's been in their head for a while, they say, man, I've been thinking about this part, but I can't, I want it in my hand. You can come here, we can help you design it even, and print it out, and you can actually then use it. And if that part you think more people should have it, we can connect you to other people so that that part can become a reality. It can go to market and maybe make money off it, make a living off of it. That's the Fab Lab.
Well, and one of the things that we have here with us today is you produced a replica of one of our microphones here at the radio station.
Yeah, and there's lots of ways to replicate this. What I did is, this model was online on there's a free website out there. You can download models. There's thousands of websites. There's thousands of files on there, so you can just search. I just searched microphone, and this came up, and it's actually a replica of this part right here. So if I needed a new one of these, I can go online, I can design it myself, I can scan it, and then I've got my file. I can then put it in software that I use and hollow it out. I can put wire passages through the part. So, if I need to replicate a part now, I can just download the file online and have it. I mean, it's plastic, but there's other machines that we have that can cut metal too. So you're not limited only on plastic.
So give us an idea of about how long it took to replicate that microphone.
With this right here, okay, well, I downloaded the part. It was already assembled and everything. All I did was put it on a flash drive, take it upstairs to one of our 3D printers, pop the flash drive in, it analyzed it, it slices everything for you, it figures out the right way to orient it in the 3D printer so that it uses less material and it prints out quicker. And I basically just said print, came back about 14 hours later, and the model was in there how I told it to print. And it actually prints out, see, if it prints out like, standing straight up, it needs to print support here because it can't lay plastic in thin air. So it actually, when it comes out the printer, it's got all this support material on it. So that then is water soluble, and that can just be dissolved away by in a bath. And so it takes about 14 hours to print this, then about another 6 hours in the bath, and then wash it off again, and you've got your model all done.
So now, Kurt, is this 3D printer, is this unique to our area?
Well, our high-end printer is actually the only one in North Florida. That printer, like I said, can make anything, high-resolution parts. Every layer that it creates is thinner than your hair. So when your part comes out, I mean, there's no layer lines at all. There's other printers that people have in their backyard. They're like MakerBot style printers. They're low cost, so your average person can have it. So there's multiple people in Panama City that have a 3D printer. You just don't hear about it. But the printer we have is just a really high-end 3D printer. It can print rubber, plastic, medical grade materials, parts that can be used in high heat environments, and the materials are expanding too. There's always more coming out, and our printer now is even kind of outdated. Now that same company has ones that can do full color and larger scale models. So.
And so how would the ability to print out one of these products benefit a business person?
Yeah, basically they can get their proof of concept. Say they've got a drawing on a napkin. They can come here with their drawing. We can make it a reality, and they can go to market with that. Or there's local corporations that need some help. They need some help. They're designing a part, and we can partner with them and make their part so that they can use. We can get materials for them so that they can test them, and so basically they don't have to buy their the 3D printer that costs as much as a new Ferrari, and we can do it at a lower cost.
And so this is huge to have this piece of equipment available here in our area.
Yeah, that was the whole point about the Advanced Technology Center, not just a technology center. Is we had the support from our board and our president and our current president. We continue to upgrade the equipment in that facility. Typically what you want to do is provide those entrepreneurs access to the materials and equipment that they wouldn't otherwise be able to get maybe in a larger community like Kurt said. You're not going to find a printer that's that advanced from Jacksonville to Pensacola. You're going to have to go down to the University of Central Florida or Gulf Coast State College. So we're helping it's almost 40 now, Kurt, 40 entrepreneurs at some stage of creating a prototype. Some of those are existing businesses. JetBoat Pilot came in, and we worked great with them. They wanted Kurt to prototype this product for cleaning a jet ski. We work with a company out of Marietta, which is Home Source International. They had an issue with a production part that Kurt's underselling himself. He's a great designer, and he's also a product of our program. So Kurt is one of our 2-year graduates that knows how to take something from a napkin, create it in 3D, and also all of the technical skills you have to have. And this is not a hobby level printer. We actually sent Kurt to Boston to get training on how to run this particular printer. It will print body parts. Again, the whole idea of the Advanced Technology Center. And if you really think about how people acquire skills and get the jobs that Mr. Millaway was talking about, we've had our traditional 2+2 programs where you get a 2-year degree and you go on and get your degree from university. A lot of us have done that. That's a great pathway. Another pathway we do is workforce. So we have certificates and 2-year degrees where those are designed to take you right out into the job. But there's a new pathway. Sometimes we refer to it, Steve, as the third rail. This is the entrepreneur. This is the person who says, well, I want a few of these classes, or I just want to take that workshop. And what I really want to do is I have this idea. That's what the Millaway Institute is about. We really focus on students. How do you connect the entrepreneurs in the community to the students with the skills that help make that project a reality? So when someone comes in with an idea, we look for, well, we're not interested in creating jobs in China. We're interested in creating jobs in Bay County and in the Panhandle of Florida. So we're happy to work with Mariana or groups out of Fort Walton and Destin. We have to look at ourselves as a region. In order to compete economically, we have to support those entrepreneurs from kindergarten. Those are the ones that stay, like Mr. Millaway and his wife. Those are the ones that come back to our community. Big companies that you attract, they come and go. Economic development on that strategy, sure, you got to have your home runs. But if you're not building and supporting that entrepreneur at that base level, you'll never build an economic development system that stays.
Right, and one point that Steve alluded to there is that you might think that you have an idea for a new product and the idea is everything. Well, it turns out if you study 100 years of innovation in this country, you come to the conclusion that ideas are essentially worthless. And I know that sounds terrible, but unless you can execute that idea, there's no intrinsic commercial value for it. So you can read a lot of books these days and they all say the same thing, that everybody has an idea, but it's very, very difficult to organize a team with a skilled entrepreneur at the helm to put together everything that's required to launch a new business. And so I think that's one of the big goals the college has here, in working with students and outside businesses, is to solve that problem, because students have ideas, outside businesses have ideas, but without people to execute and teams that can be put together to move at a speed that can outpace the competition, no real jobs and growth will be realized.
And so what is it, in your opinion, what is it going to take to make this a success, to grow kind of the tech market here, if you will, in Bay County and Northwest Florida?
Yeah, we have to continue to do what we're doing currently, and that is engage everyone, students and all the people in the community that are interested in tech startups. If we don't do that, we're not doing a good service to them, because they don't have a place, which we call ground zero. To me, I think of ATC as ground zero for tech in Bay County, and surrounding counties for that matter. So there's a one-stop shop. You can come here and find out where to go in the community. You can use the Fab Lab. You can get help from Dr. Dunnivant and his staff. You can take classes. You can get certificates. It's a great place to start. And for the person that has the idea is necessary but not sufficient. You need help, you need training, and that's what the college offers.
And so one of the best ways to get people involved is to just have them come out and see the place. And you have an open house coming up at the Millaway Institute. Tell us about that.
Yeah, on May 28th at 5 o'clock, we've held off on this to really listen to the community about what their needs were. The equipment that we've selected, the services that we offer are geared toward our ecosystem. So now's the time to have the open house on May 28th at 5 p.m. And the public is invited in. We will have at least 6 entrepreneurs and business folks that we've helped out of the 30 are bringing in their products that we help them at some stage develop or promote. So they'll be at tables. You can talk to other entrepreneurs at what kind of assistance they got from the Institute and the Fab Lab in the college. And you can see the facilities. You got to see these places to realize we have, in my opinion, I'll be in Pittsburgh in a couple of weeks. They just opened up an Advanced Technology Center. They designed it after ours. And we designed ours after the dozen or so we went around and visited. Theirs is attached to 1 million square foot of entrepreneurial spin-off space. You heard Mr. Millaway talk about, we didn't have the resources at the time that did that. They took over a big, giant factory. But they realized the game for long-term sustainable economic development is build something the entrepreneurs can tap into. Well, we've got some great assets in this community. We have incubators. We do have some capital for investors. It's not as much as you would find in different communities, but this is a long game. What's so important about this open house and this launch is it is the public flag in the ground that says, you know what, we're not the Redneck Riviera. This is one of the most innovative, creative regions in the United States of America. So when you look at the resources, Gulf Coast State College, Florida State University, Panama City, all of the things that we have with the Navy Lab, the phenomenal technical knowledge at the Air Force, this is a great area. But go back to Chattanooga in 1971, and when Walter Cronkite went on national television and said, you guys have the worst air quality in the United States, and go to Chattanooga today. It took them that long. Chattanooga has Volkswagen. They have one of the most developed entrepreneurial ecosystems in the U.S. So does Albany, New York, and I'm thinking of San Antonio, Texas, and of course Austin, Texas. There are, like Boston, there are areas entrepreneurs go, oh yeah, go there because that place has the resources I need. Well, we need to get there. It's a long game. We start slowly. We start with 20 or 30 and build to 100. There's a community college in Ohio that has done this very successfully, created 300 jobs, high pay, high skill jobs through this entrepreneurial model. So on May 28th, make sure you come by and see this space and tell us about what it is you're trying to do. And you know, Steve's right. An idea in and of itself is just a drawing on a napkin. If you're not taking that into a space where you can build a team around it, and that's what the Millaway can help do, is we're going to look for those ideas that we can build a team around and connect you to all the other things in the community that can help.
And we're getting ready to wrap up this edition of RAPLINE. You guys have any final thoughts you want our viewers and listeners to go away with?
Just one point to amplify what Steve said. You might mention, Steve, some of the free classes that are offered, because that's a big positive thing I've heard from the community that you can go on the Gulf Coast website, maybe talk just a second about those classes.
Thank you for pointing that out. Part of the Millaway Institute are workshops, free workshops that we do. We have one that talks about the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Because it's complicated, there's a lot of pieces. We will listen to what you're trying to accomplish and in that workshop and then direct you to the specific resources. Kurt is also doing some free 3D workshops. You kind of start on a hobby level and how to use a MakerBot and how to do some basic 3D design. That's free as well. When you go to the college website and click the Millaway Institute, you'll see also workshops that are done throughout the community. There are other folks, there's a group called Hive, and they're doing a free series of workshops called Start Up or Shut Up. And then there's what the BIC offers in terms of virtual. So the workshops that we offer are free to the public over the summer. Make sure you keep up with us on the website, and we'll have a mailing list you can get on, and that way we'll be able to continue to help you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to say. The 3D print workshops, I mean, anyone can do it. If you're into art, if you're into working on your car, if you're into boats, anything. So come by and come to our free workshops this summer.
All right, Kurt Morris, Steve Millaway, and Dr. Steve Dunnivant, thanks so much for coming on this edition of RAPLINE. And again, that open house coming up on Thursday, May 28th, and it's right here, the Millaway Institute for Entrepreneurship on the campus of Gulf Coast State College in the ATC building. And again, that is May 28th, and that is a wrap for this edition of RAPLINE. Thanks again to my guests from the Millaway Institute. And a reminder, if you're thinking of adding a pet to your family, consider the adoption option. Always check out our Facebook page for our Pet of the Week. I'm Emily Blaze. Thanks for listening and watching, and have a great day.